Maestro Gaming presents a wobbly wagon wheel production about a nomad man. That man is the Gypsy King. Okay, ladies and gents, welcome back to another Maestro Game production, and as you can see, we are back home in Beveren for our first game of today's episode, which of course is against top of the league Standard. So, as you can see, we have a couple of players missing. Pierre is still out with that injury. Yes, he was fit enough to force into the team. Unfortunately, he wouldn't be able to play in the second game due to his condition, so I thought I'd rest him. Save him for the game we might actually have a chance in. So he's been saved for the second game. We then have a suspension on the right-hand side of midfield. That means Fernandez is coming in on the right-hand wing. Zanelli, of course, is staying on the left. We have Milcevic up front. Bizamani and Belt controlling central midfield. Behind them is Kubasic. Behind him, of course, is Corfries and Hannah, who is holding that spot for Pierre. We then have Schwavers on the right-hand side, Vucevic on the left, and Gallon in goal. Now, our bench is pretty simple. It's Pirard, Weigl, Ozcan, Foulon, Jimenez, Kyoto, who's of course coming in as the backup on the wing, and then Humberg for our backup striker. But without further ado, let's head on into the dressing room and see what Dirk Gerard has to say. Sorry, Dirk Gerard. I don't know why I never pronounce the K, but I don't. Dirk Gerard thinks we should tell the team they're expected to pick up where they left off. And that's a little bit. You know, we're going to be passionate. We could fall into the relegation zone. No, we've got nothing to lose. We know how good we are. Let's show everyone what we're capable of. We're at home. We're playing top of the league. Show everyone what you can do. So, the Eupen manager, Bernat San Jose, has taken the perhaps bold step of placing, I really don't care about other teams' transfer policies right now, Rudolf Janssens of the Sint Niklas football paper, an enthusiastic fellow who is indifferent about us. I could care less. I've not really got anything to say on the matter. Yeah, that's for them to deal with. How is your approach to breaching the Pro League's best defense? I don't think we need to do anything special, but no, that's not. There are a number of ways we could go about beating them. It only takes one goal. Yes, we're hoping to keep them out and score one goal. Standard are unbeaten in 4 matches against you. Can you end that run here and now? I don't like it. I'm desperate for it to end. Don't think it will, but I'm desperate for it to end. You're 5th in the Pro League form table after a good recent run. Does that help ahead of kickoff? Momentum is important. Standard's recent good form has them 1st in the form table. Yeah, I was thinking that. There's a threat. They're a threat, but I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can put a dent. Yeah, we can put a dent in their ambition. Schwavers has been rock solid in defense of late. How important will he be here? Like everyone, he's going to be very important. To beat Standard, we're going to need all 11 players playing at their best, and heck, we're going to need all of our bench too. Are you hoping that Kubasic carries his recent... No, I want him to have a terrible game. What a ridiculous question. The absence of Averif is sure to be felt. Yes, because he's the only guy who can actually take free kicks. Which is why we are looking at strengthening our defensive mid with one more player. And I'm trying to get one who can actually take free kicks. So, obviously I'd rather have him available, but I believe in the team selected today. Also, if we can get one who can take free kicks, it does mean Verif is probably going to stay on the bench because he's not as good as Fernandez, but of course he is a free kick specialist. Fernandez, nice ball over to Schwavers though. Schwavers coming down this right-hand side, plays it back to Belt. Belt has space. Belt takes a shot and Belt gets a belter. We are less than 2 minutes into today's game and we have already taken the lead, folks, through Thomas van den Belt, with his first goal of the season assisted by Schwavers. And, well, it was a lovely goal indeed. They gave him way too much space on the edge of the area, hits it with his left foot, crossed the face of goal, and it is 1-0. And as you can see, he's already got off to an 8 rating so far. Now, what does that do for us at the moment? It moves us up to 14th. Now, as you can see here, we have very identical stats besides our terrible goal difference. The goal difference in that sense is actually going to pay some attention to. We've got to pay some attention in that regard. But it's not the main statistic. The main statistic is points. We need points. And Schwavers is going to try and help us by heading it over to Fernandez. Schwavers is having a lovely time at the start of today's game. Belt gets it. It's now with Bizamani and over to Fernandez. Fernandez coming down this right-hand side. Willy whipping across. He does. It goes over the top of everyone though. Zenil keeps it in and Zenil gets it across to Fernandez once more. Now with Schwavers. Schwavers, will he pull it back to Fernandez? No, he goes back to Belt. It worked once before, but he doesn't manage to do anything this time. Schwavers now plays into Fernandez. Now into the box. Milcevic's shot is blocked. It is cleared away eventually, but Hannah heads it back forward to Fernandez. Belt in possession now to Kubasic. Kubasic, lovely ball over to Vucevic. Can he whip it across? Tries to, but it is unfortunately blocked. And, well, we are getting off to a solid start into today's game. Vucevic, though, whips in the corner, and it is headed away. Fernandez, though, collects it. We are still in possession. Core Fries holding up possession, but unfortunately that is the end of the highlights. Been a very busy 15 minutes, if I do say so. Now, I want to praise them, but I'm going to refrain. I know this team is probably not going to take praise too well. I think I tried it before once and it didn't go down great, so no praise. They can have praise when we get the victory. But Zanelli has gone and given it away with his header down, and they are in possession with Agbo. Agbo picks it up, but Fernandez intercepts it. Schwavers, Belt, and Fernandez once more, and over to Bizamani. Bizamani, nice ball through to Zenil. Zenil trying to cut inside. He has help on the wing, plays it out wide to Vucevic. Vucevic inside to Bizamani, back to Vucevic once more, back to Bizamani once more. I am losing my voice and they've given it away. And, well, they have plenty of space to work with. Unfortunately for them, though, Gallon makes a lovely save and we have evaded that danger. So, can we hold out till half-time, ladies and gents? We have 2 minutes remaining. And it's half-time. We have managed to go in with the lead against top of the table. We are putting a dent in Standard's plan of winning the league. In fact, if Standard win the league, this will be the first time in years anyone other than Club Brugge have won it. I think Club Brugge have won it the past 3 times. Didn't win it the one before. I think that was Genk, and then before that Club Brugge, and it's basically been on Club Brugge since the start of the game. But anyways, we've had 5 shots to their 3, 4 on target to their 2, 6 fouls to their 2, 1 yellow card, 0 yellow cards, 58% possession to 42. We really need to calm down on those fouls, but I will take it if we get the victory. Now, the best performers is Thomas van der Belt with that lovely goal and an 8.2. For them is Simarot with 89% passing completion ratio and 6.9 rating. Struggling to perform is Zanelli with 2 mistakes and 6.5, and Gavore with a 6.4 and 0% crossing completion ratio. So we should probably take Zanelli off. He's struggling. As you can tell, Muscaron is drawing 0-0. Mechelen, unfortunately, is 1-0 up against Club Brugge. That's not good news for us. Genk is drawing their game 0-0. U-Bend, as I like to call them, are currently beating Wargem, which is very useful for us. Antwerp is currently 3-0 against Genk, but I don't think that game actually matters to us in the slightest. So, Dirk thinks we should tell the boys that effort was excellent. Their efforts were indeed excellent. So, you know what? Things are going well, but you're capable better. I know you can do better, lads. I'm seeing a lot of 6s. I want to see 7s and 8s and 9s. You are capable of that. That is far as I'm concerned. Now, do we take Corfrides off? He's playing alright. He's okay for condition, but he is on that yellow card and it's risky. I think we keep him in this situation. We are going to take Zanelli off though. He's having a rough game, so we take him off. We bring on a winger. In fact, do we swap these 2 over? Do we do that? No, we don't. We really don't. We just go with that. In fact, do we go Holmberg on the wing again? Holmberg, how much do you like being a winger? Because 10 on crossing, 10 on dribbling, 10 on passing. Everything else is solid and you score screamers. Now Kyoto, in the same role, Off the ball, he's worse. Anticipation is a 10, and passing is a 10. So instead of 3 10s to think about, but he does have more pace and acceleration, he can cross and dribble. That's interesting. Does that shift? Ooh, it does shift up for support. Interesting. So work rate, stamina. So he really needs to be an attacking winger if he's going to be a winger, is what I'm learning here, because he can utilize his flair. So what we do is we do have him, but we use him in the role he likes to play. So we're going to move him up to being attacking. I never realised that made as much difference as it does, but there you go. If you was in the same boat as me, now you know that slight alteration does tweak a couple of the statistics and change things a bit. Now, that is our substitute for the half-time. We've done our team talk, and now we just need to try and hold on to this lead. And we're going to do it with a free kick from Hannah. Hannah plays it shot to Belt, now with Schwavers. Schwavers coming inside, plays it to Gypsy. Now Bizamani, lovely through ball. Kyoto, can he get a goal? No, it's Bodart with the save, and a lovely name, I must say. Loving the name. Vucevic, though, whips it in, back post. Milcevic can't get to it, but Hannah collects it on the edge of the area. Looking for them, it's not Belt. This is Belt, though. He plays it over to Corfries, back to Belt once more. Corfries doing a 1-2, back to him, and it's back to Corfries once more. Belt and Corfries holding possession nicely. Played back to Schwavers, and Fernandez tries to head it to nobody. That's a shame. After all that, Corfries' pass was a little high, and Fernandez couldn't control it. But that could have worked out pretty darn well. Unfortunately doesn't. But we are coming close to our second substitute. First of all, we are going to have the throw-in though. And that is Bizamani. Throws it into Milcevic. Can we get a goal from this? If we do, I'm going to take Corfries off. I'm not going to risk him on a yellow card if we go 2-0 up. But Dragus. Oh, it's a lovely save. Corfries heads it away and Vucevic collects. So we are going to risk our 2 defenders on yellow cards. Unfortunately, he is having a very good game. Schwavers, though, he's a little bit tired. Vucevic's tired and also got that yellow card. Now, his stats aren't too bad. But, what do we do, ladies? I think Vucevic has to go. I'm sorry, Vucevic. I love and appreciate you, but I think you have to be gone in this situation. Now, do I go with Ozcan or do I go with Foulon? I think I go with Foulon just because I don't want to shift out Hannah over to the left-hand side. I don't want to disturb this central defensive area. So we'll do that and pray Corfries doesn't get sent off. If Corfries gets sent off, we're probably going to have to take Milcevic off to move someone back there. But that is something to worry about if it happens. We are going to just pray it doesn't. Foulon over to Belt. Belt now to Fernandez. Kubasic, lovely ball to Milcevic. Back to Bizamani and Kyoto. Kyoto's made a lovely run. Can he get a goal? No, it's an awful finish. And I don't know what he's doing at that end of the pitch with shooting like that. He looked very much like a wing-back than a winger. But Belt plays it back to Kubasic. Kubasic holds up the ball nicely. Now with Kyoto. Kyoto has just gone and given him the ball back. He's having an even worse game on that wing. We're struggling on the left-hand side, folks. We're struggling on the left-hand side. First, Zanelli was having a rough one, and now we have Kyoto, who's having an even worse game. But they are in possession with a throwing on this right-hand side. They're holding it up nicely, whip across in, and Dragus has got an equaliser for them. So we are going to demand a bit more. I know we're playing top of the league. A draw, that's a great result, but we want to make sure we get something out of this. We don't want them stealing it at the death of the game. That's the last thing we want into today's match. As you can see, our midfield is putting on quite the display. Unfortunately, though, those front two are struggling, and now we have Kyoto, who's in the red. So, yes. That's not a good sign, but a good sign is we have gone and got a draw. We've gone and squandered is probably more. I was going to say stolen a point, but it's more we've squandered it. So 1-1 here today, and we've had 13 shots to their 7, 9 shots on target to their 5, 10 fouls to 8 fouls, 2 yellow cards, 0 yellow cards, 59% possession to 41. Now, our best performer was Thomas van der Belt. He got 1 goal and 8.3. For them was Dragus with that equaliser and a 7.5. Struggling to perform was Kyoto. As you saw, he was a complete shambles. Let's just put it that way. 6 passes completed and a 5.9. For them was Gavari with a 6.4 and 0 crossing completion ratio. Now, as you'll see, there is quite a few milestones. We finally beat their goalkeeper. Just to highlight one of them, he went 2 whole games without conceding. Now, that's actually quite interesting because he must have conceded right at the death of the game prior to those 2. But anyways, that's another issue for them, not us. But player of the match goes to Fernandez. He had a lovely time over on that right hand side. Does make things difficult when it comes to the left hand side because we now have 2 players who are pretty darn solid on the right, but Fernandez does struggle when moved over to the left. So he's probably going to stay on that side. I don't know, we'll figure out that left in just a second. But first of all, we need to tell the lads they did a great job. So passionately, everyone thought would be beaten. Good job. You look delighted. You shouldn't with that rating, but I will let you off because you are our backup. But as you can see, Muskron lost their game. Mechlin unfortunately won theirs. Wargem, where are you? Wargem lost 2-0. That is good. Now, this game, not great. They managed to gain a point. We are about to play them though, and they're kind of in touching distance. The teams I'm kind of looking at the moment are 25 and down. So we've got Mechlin, Char lost, so that's a good sign. Muskron, they lost, so 2 lost, 1 managed to pick up a win. We picked up our win. Zoltan Wargem lost their game, and now we have a nice little 1-point gap. So that is that. We are going to head on over to the Stadium of Oostende, which is the Versluis Arena, and I will hopefully see you fan folks for the kickoff over there in just a second. Okay, ladies and gents, before we jump into the second game of today's episode, we have some transfer news, and as you can see, it is the winding up of the transfer window, and we have been the most active. We've had 13 players come in, and well, Anderlecht has spent the most. They've spent 13.75 million. But who have we brought in? Well, our director of football has been bringing in a few youths in between. We've had to send some players out on loan, basically because they've been nagging to play games. So I've sent them out on loan and brought in replacements. So let's have a look at the 3 players I've just brought in. So, first of all, we have Damien Duchetz. Duchetz. We're going with Duchetz. He is a replacement for, as you'll see here, Weigl. Weigl decided he wanted to play some football, so we sent him out on loan and we brought in a suitable replacement. Now, as you can see, he's coming in from EA Guingamp, and well, he's valued on under just $1 million, 6.5 grand a week. He is a French player, no international caps, unfortunately. He is homegrown here in Belgium though, and well, he is a solid wing back. He is mainly a fullback, but we want him as a wingback. As you can see, I made sure all of his stats were at least 10, but mainly 11s. Marking is his only one as low as 10. Everything else is 11s, 12s, and yes, he is very solid in that position. Now, what has he been doing over his career? As you will have just seen on the previous screen as well, 3-star potential. So he is at the height of his career. Well, he started off in France, of course. He was at the AFC. Spent a few seasons at the AFC, never playing a game for them. Standard then picked him up on a free transfer, played 8 games for them, followed by 1 the next season. He then went on a free transfer to SCVV. Spent 3 seasons there, played 12 games, 17 games, 25, and got 2 goals in the final season. That's got him a free transfer to Dynamo Bucharest over in Romania. He played 10 games there before going on free transfer to fellow Romanian side FC Viitorul, which gave him 1 game and he played very well in that. Got 1 assist and got a 7.2 rating as a result. Now, this is where EA Guingamp came in. He went back to France in the second tier, where he was on a transfer of 105 grand. Now, he played 38 games, got 1 goal, 5 assists, 2 player of the matches, and a 7.11. This is where his form dipped a little bit. He played 37 games the following season, 1 goal, still pretty impressive for a wing-back. Got 1 assist, 1 player of the match, only a 6.76 on his average rating though. Probably struggling more in the defensive aspect. He then only played 19 games, got 3 goals though, very impressively, with 4 assists, and his average rating went up to a 6.83. So hopefully we're getting him on his little bit of a bounce back from his transfer, and hopefully he can have a solid season for us. Because after all, we are paying for him. He is going to be sitting on the bench, but he is our backup, of course, for Schwavers. Now, joining him is Danny Post, otherwise known as the Postman. He's coming in on loan from VVV Venlo. And, well, he's 3-star potential. He's at the height of his career also. As you can see, 33 years old, hasn't got an international cap, and probably never will. Mainly a central midfielder, we're going to be using him as a defensive mid. As you can see, his agility and pace aren't quite there for a ball-winning role. However, we are going to use him as a simple defensive mid. And, well, in that, he is pretty solid. His stamina is 10, it's probably going down. He's probably going to drop to an 8 or 9. But everything else, he is solid. He's got great mentals for it, got the marking, got the passing, and got the tackling. He can do a job for us in that position. Now, he is on 7.25 grand a week, and, well, his value is very low just because he's old. And what has he been doing? Well, he's been in Holland his entire career until this moment. He was at Haarlem, not the Globetrotters, with 14 appearances in his first season. He then went to FC... That doesn't actually say how he managed to get there, but he went there. He went to FC Groningen, and he played no games. Went out on loan to Cambuur for 2 games before going back to Groningen and playing 1. He then went to FC, again, it doesn't say how he ended up there, whether it was free transfer, undisclosed or what, but he ended up there anyways. He was at FC Dordrecht, where he played 22 games, got 2 goals. He then played 27 games, got 2 goals. Seen a bit of a pattern there. Not bad for a defensive mid. He played 28 games and 1 goal after an undisclosed fee transfer to Venlo, where he has spent his career since 13/14 season. And, well, he played 32 games, scored twice. 30 games, scored once. 33 scored 3. 20 games, didn't score a single goal as they went up into the top tier in Holland. He then scored 3 goals in his second season in the top tier with 28 appearances. He then had 4 goals in 32 appearances, 3 assists and 0 player of the matches with a 6.85 in 1920, and, well, he's kept up that form. The season after, he got 3 goals, 2 assists, 1 player of the match, and also a 6.85 in 33. He then played an extra game once more the following season, got 2 goals, 4 assists, 0 player of the matches, and you guessed it, an average rating of 6.85. Now, in this previous season, or actually it's the current season, he has had 10 appearances, 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 player of the matches, and a 6.6. So we're getting him a bit on the decline, but he's a backup, so we don't mind too much. He's going to sit on our bench, be a backup to cover for our defensive midfield. Now, this is a big signing. I said about wanting a player who can take free kicks when we were trying to acquire a defensive mid. Well, we couldn't get that sort of player, but we did have an issue with one of our wingers, and thus it led to this solution, I suppose. We're running with 4 really solid wingers. So, Verif, decent player. He's not on the standard of the other players which we brought in, but he was amazing at free kicks. Now, this guy, Erik Uland Anderson, he can take free kicks, but he is amazing. That means Fernandez can go play over on the right-hand side, he can play on the left-hand side, and the other 2 can get off and, well, be the backups. Verif, of course, will sit on the bench because he is a homegrown player. We need homegrown players in the squad, and he makes up the numbers. But, yes, he is dropped to the bench now, and Anderson is in his replacement. Now, as you can see, we're paying quite a bit of money to them, 30.5 grand per month, but he is well worth it. 3.5 star, 3.5 star potential at the height of his career at 30 years old. Don't see him going on a decline like the Postman. And his value is 1.1 million, 2.5 grand per week. And, well, we're not going to use him as an inverted winger. We are going to use him as an inside forward. And as an inside forward, the only problem he has is his dribbling. That's on a 9, but he has 14 finishing, 13 on his first touch. Long shot is 16, and as you can see, 18 for free kicks. Solid free kick taker, 15 on his passing, 15 on his technicals. Lot of solid numbers there. Not going to go through them because we shall be here all day. But what has his career been like? Well, again, another player who stayed in his country. We finally dragged him out to Belgium. Been in Norway his entire career. He was at Vard for a couple of seasons. Didn't do a lot there. Went to Haugesund on an undisclosed fee. Didn't do anything for 2 seasons. Out of the 3, he did have 11 appearances in 2011. Went back to Vard on loan. Now, back to Vard, he went down to second division, Group 3, and, well, he had a solid season. He scored 12 goals in 25 appearances. That meant they kept him on loan for another season. And, well, he scored 2 goals in 12. He then went back to Haugesund, where he didn't appear at all. That meant he went out on loan once more to Hod. Hod loaned him, scored 5 goals in 12 games. And, well, they decided to sign him. They thought, this guy is a solid player, let's bring him in on a permanent transfer. And, well, there's a good bit of business on their part, I would say. He scored 7 goals in 20 games, then 11 goals in 28 games, 4 goals in 18 games, before a 66 grand transfer to Tromsø. Now, I wouldn't say that was a good deal on their part, but they managed to pick him up on loan, bring him in, use him for a bit, and then sell him on. Now, he scored 3 goals in 8 games for them, 11 goals in 26 at the bargain price of 66 grand, then 6 goals in 28 games before making a hefty profit, selling him to Mold with 500k. Now, he's played 21 appearances for them, 3 goals, 3 assists, 2 player of the matches, and a 6.96. He's very much on an upward trajectory. He is in the height of his career. Yes, he's a little bit old, but he's peaking in his prime, and, well, we have managed to acquire him on loan for the hefty sum of 155 grand. But he is going to be a starter, so hopefully he can show us his worth. As you can see, a few other different players went out on loan. I believe Gamboa and below is from you not knowing. Lulik, I got rid of him, just wanted to make a bit of money on him. Wasn't really going to be using him. Lopez, of course, went out. Morin went out on loan. As you'll see from all them, a few different players going out of the door. But it's more about this massive list, in fact, of players coming in. 1.5 million out, 4.6 million in. And to be fair, a lot of that does come down to the previous manager, but I did spend quite a hefty chunk as well. Vidigal, of course, I bought in. He is now out on loan to Academia, so hopefully he can do a good job over there. But without further ado, we're going to head on over to our second game of today's episode. So I'll meet you at a stadium in just a second. Okay, ladies and gents, we usually start these segments off not looking at a beach with solar panels on it, but next to the stadium, or in fact sometimes within the stadium. But this one is actually rather close to the beach, so I thought I would take you a little walk from the beach side and just show you how closely we are to the beach. So let's just spin around first of all. We need to come out of this, head across the main road, which is going to be difficult with this Google car, but we shall manage it. We head on down this side street, and as you can see, there is a structure next to us. Now, this big stadium over here is where we need to be. That is the home of our opponents today. So without further ado, I'm going to head on inside and I will hopefully see you fine folks for the kickoff in just a second. Okay, ladies and gents, it is time to kick off our second game of today's episode. As you can see from their formation, we are trendsetters. But it isn't going to matter because our team today is Gallon in goal. We have Busovic at left back, Schwavers on the right hand side, Corfries and Pieri in between them. Now, in front of them is Kubasic. In front of him, of course, is Bizamani and Belt controlling that central midfield. On the left is Anderson, better than Kleberson. And on the right is Fernandez. Up front front, of course, on his own is Milcevic. Now, our bench consists of Pirard. He is joined by Deschorts, Özcan, Post, Jimenez, Verif, and of course Holmberg. But without further ado, let's go talk to Dirk and see what he has to say. Now, Dirk Gerard encourages players, yeah, give them a bit of morale boost. Maybe that's the approach, but we are up the seaside. We do like to be beside the sea. Where the underdogs here, that suits us down to the ground. Go cause an upset. Yeah, that suits us down to the ground. Go cause an upset. Now, you must only just be getting your breath back after a hectic transfer. Marcel Fontaine of the Belgian Football Review, an enthusiastic fellow who is indifferent about us. You're right, it was a chaotic day from start to finish. Yeah. Flight's all over. As you prepare to face, are you happy with? Yes. I wouldn't be playing him if I wasn't happy with his performances. You've left. No, it's because he is not as good as our other goalkeeper. He's just been rested. I like to tell him that. Because for some reason, like I said in previous episodes, they don't ever follow up on that. They never turn around and go, okay, he was being rested that game, but why has he not been used in the last 10 games? Now, since telling us that. But that is something for Sports Interactive to possibly look at when they go into future games. But for now, they are trying to pass it to the ref. That looks a bit dodgy. Anyways, I must say the kit colour is interesting also. I'm getting very Cameroonian vibes with this colour scheme going on, but they have whipped one in. Pierre heads it away. Hollande, I need to change that. He has to drop the Hollande bit. But first, they need to drop that off with VAR, maybe? Yes? Let's go. Saved by the bell. Or in this case, saved by the offside. And the VAR technology has come up trumps once again as Gallon goes to take a short free kick. But first of all, I need to change your name. So you, Anderson, you are simply just Anderson. You can't be having this convoluted name. You are just Anderson Anderson. I really want to put better than Cleverson, but I'm going to refrain from changing it to that for now. First of all, we need to go back to the pitch, where Gallon takes short free kick to Pierre. Now Pierre plays it over to Schwevers inside to Belt. Belt making a run through the middle. Now with Bizamani in the centre circle. Will he do anything with this? He's coming out to the left-hand side. Plays it over to Vucevic. Vucevic plays it back to Corfries on the halfway line. Kubasic now with Bizamani. Now up to Hollande, otherwise known as Anderson. Whips one across to Fernandez. And that could have been dangerous. But it is going to be Milcevic to take the corner. I have not added those guys to the set pieces yet, which is a big mistake. But Corfries plays it to Kubasic. Now with Corfries, he is going to get all the way back to Schwevers, where we are going to get things sorted. And by sorted, I mean I'm going to do the set piece stuff right here. So you'll be able to see who is currently set on set pieces, if it's going to ever load that screen, maybe. Thank you, game. Don't know why it was being such pain in the backside, but corners. Right, Anderson, he is a solid corner kick taker. He is, in fact, better than Verif. So, you know, Anderson, you're coming in on both sides. I don't particularly care about your lack of wanting to do the left-hand side. We then have free kick takers. Now, you are also the best free kick taker on the pitch. In fact, you're the best free kick taker at the entire club. So it's you, then a Verif, and then Jimenez can do it on the left-hand side, whilst Danny Post is in fact. Okay. I mean, if Danny Post wants to be the backup, he's better than Milcevic. I guess Danny Post can be a fair choice. Okay, game. Whatever. It's not going to let me do that right now. So that can wait. Throw-ins, I don't think anyone particularly is good at throw-ins. Duchette's is okay. I can do him on the right-hand side. And he's better than Verif, Bizamani. You know what? I'll put him above Schwevers. Or I won't. Okay. Whatever game. If you're going to be like that, I don't care. I will mess about with other stuff in my own time. The only thing I care about is getting the free kick takers sorted. So we've got a solid guy at free kicks, and we have not gone and utilised that in our settings. But now we have, and they have a corner, unfortunately. Whipped in at the back post. Bismani tried to get away, but ooh, lovely save from Gallon. It's cleared away, maybe? Come on, Belt, just hoof it up. Thank you, Belt. It's with Milcevic. Milcevic, can we counter-attack with Belt? Now with Hernandez? No. End of the highlight. That is not going to be a counter-attack, unfortunately, but we managed to get away, and that is all we can hope for at this moment in time. Now, as you can see, Muscron is currently drawing their game. We need them to start losing. Ghent is at least doing us a solid one, winning away at the moment. But we need a game. Come on, Antwerp. Let's go. Antwerp, you beautiful people. You have managed to get yourselves in the lead as we go into half-time 0-0. And well, they've had 6 shots to our 10, 2 on target to our 6, 5 fouls to 5 fouls, 0 yellow cards, 0 yellow cards, 43% possession to our 57. Now, their best performer has been their goalkeeper, Lebrovic, with 4 saves held and a 7 rating. For us, is Kubasic with a 7 rating also and 93% passing completion ratio. Struggling for form is De Haas for them with a 6.4 and 7 passes completed. And for us, it's Milcevic, 6.6 and 1 overall chance. We know who we're going to bring on in place of Milcevic, though. We have a solid striker sitting on our bench. Now, as I previously mentioned, Antwerp has gone 1-0 up in their game. That's useful for us. We have the Battle of the Bruges below that, where Club Bruges is currently winning 1-0 away. We then have Charleroi, who is currently losing 1-0 to Ghent. And, well, 0-0 in the standard game, that doesn't apply to us. 0-0 in our game, of course, that applies to us, but we already knew that. And KRC Genk is 1-0 up against STVV. I don't think that really has a whole lot of bearing on our current predicament anyways. But Dirk is Gerard, we should tell the boys that effort was excellent. And, well, you know what? Assertively, no, passionately. I don't want to tell them that. I want to tell them more. We can do better. Unlucky, we've been the better team. See, that is a little harsh. Saying I'm not happy with the performance because I'm not disappointed. No, let's do it. Yeah, the lads appreciate me being a bit hard on them, so I'm glad that went down well. We are then going to bring on Holmberg up front, our Swedish superstar, as I like to refer to him, and we shall jump into the second half of today's game. And we have a free kick, nice and early, back post. Bizamani heads it over the bar though. And I have to deal for the rest of the game with Anderson not having Anderson as his name. But we'll get over that one, or at least I will get over that one. It might make commentating a little bit more difficult, but oh well. It's only for one match. And well, it's with Sakala, and I'm not even going to attempt that guy's name. I will need 3 weeks to just try and pronounce half of it. Anyways, Milvic gets it back to the goalkeeper. It's now with Faze. Faze tries a ball over to the right-hand side. Sentonzi tries a ball up to his winger. It is now with the winger who plays it over the top. And it's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Lovely save by Gallon. Pieri, can you get it away? Yes, he does. And we are safe for the moment. So, 65 minutes in. We've got players looking tired. We are going to get some substitutes on. So, tactics. What are we going to do? We are going to substitute Bizamani, looking tired, but not as tired as Fernandez. He's having a better game. Fernandez is looking like the prime candidate to go off with that 69. So we are going to take him off. Verif is going to come on. So Verif on for Fernandez. We can, yeah, you can stay on a supportive role. And that, I believe, is all we are going to do for now. I'm going to hold on to the third substitute just in case we get an injury or any issues elsewhere on the pitch. And hopefully we can hold out, maybe extend it. Ooh, Vucevic, good job on that back post. Gets it away. And can we please just clear this? Yes, thank you. Also, Antwerp has gone 2-0 up. Unfortunately, though, Ghent has gone and conceded. It's 1-1 in that game. And we are going to demand a little bit more going into the dying moments. Hopefully we can steal a victory here. 5 minutes remain. Can we do anything with this? Probably not, looking at the rate it's going. Nope, we can't do anything. Not a single highlight since I mentioned that, but it has been an enjoyable game and pretty enjoyable episode, I would say. We've got 2 points out of 2 games, and well, they had 12 shots to our 15, 5 on target to our 9, 14 fouls to our 6, 0 yellow cards to 0 yellow cards, 47% possession to our 53. And well, their worst player was FaZe. He got best player was FaZe with 7.4 and no reason for it. Our best player was Belt, also with a 7.4 and 91% passing completion ratio. Now, struggling to perform is Sakala. He got 6.5, no reason for it, and Holmberg, weirdly, with a 6.5 and 0 overall chances. Both our strikers really struggled in today's game, so the fact that we managed to pick something up from it was quite nice. Now, there's a few different milestones. I'm not going to go through them. The biggest milestone for me, though, is the fact that we've managed to sort Anderson's name for the next game. And, well, I'm going to sort the set piece stuff as well, because, as you noticed, there was a little bit of difficulty in trying to set that. But, anyways, we head to the dressing room. The player of the match goes to FaZe, who narrowly sneaks it from Belt, and he thinks we should tell the team that, yeah, it was. You know what? Unlucky boys, it wasn't our night. We could have had a better showing, but that was okay. I can deal with that. We shall turn them on their way. And, well, who do we have in the next episode? I have just noticed Muskron, with that draw, has gone below us, because Muskron, of course, lost to Antwerp 2-0. Cheleron is 2 points clear of us, because they did manage to nick a point in the end against Ghent. Now, Mechelen did not play, so Mechelen still has to play yet. They have 3 points on us, and they've won more, so doesn't matter. The only team we can jump above is Charleroi at the moment, and we can obviously go below these two, but hopefully that is not the case, as Wargem actually has a game in hand. So if Wargem win, they can hop both of us. Muscaron goes bottom of the league, but we'll try not to think about that. Let's think positive, hope they lose their game, which is probably against them or one of these two. Who knows? We shall find out in the future. But the future, speaking of which, we have Anderlecht at home in our next episode, along with STVV. And also, speaking of the TV element, it is going to be a double televised header. I had a little look earlier on, and as you can see, we've got a double televised header against those two. The following episode is then going to be UPenn and Antwerp, and if needed, we're going to do another triple header, or at least a double header, which would be these two, I guess, Mechelen and Cheleron, but we'll probably need the Club Brugge game, so I can see in 3 episodes' time a triple header coming our way. But I thank you all for watching today's episode. I hope you've all had a lovely night, and goodbye.